Alright, I decided to make a video for all the people who are having trouble with their heat and can't afford to have their heater core replaced. I'm making a little video how to take care of it a little simpler. Might help you out, might not. First thing I did was I flushed my radiator. As you can see, I put the flush into the cap. You buy it at the regular auto store, and ran it around, drove it around with the stuff in it for a while, and came home and drained it out. Okay, and then what you do is you get this little set where you can hook up a garden hose to your heater core. I don't know why it comes with these stupid T's. It doesn't make any damn sense, because I need to hook the hose, garden hose, to the heater core. So I capped off the one piece. I know that's electrical tape. I don't want to hear about how electric and water don't mix. That's all I had. Okay, so on your firewall you'll find an inlet and an outlet. Alright, and mine has this little valve right here that lets your antifreeze into your heater core, which will dissipate heat in order for you to get heat into your cabin. Okay, so there's an inlet and an outlet. This is my inlet, and it's probably the same on yours. Now, it's going to be on the firewall on some of the newer vehicles. It might be around here, but it's relatively going to be, as you can see, to the left inside the hood. Okay, so now normally this is my inlet and this is my outlet. Okay, so for the purposes of what we're doing here, we are actually switching. So now this is my outlet going into the bucket. Okay, and this is my inlet that I hooked up to the hose. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're actually going to flush out all the crud and crap out of your heater core instead of replacing it, as long as it's not leaking. Okay, and in order to do that, you run it backwards to get a different flow than normally happens. Okay, so it's going to run into this bucket. Now, you're only running about maybe 7, 8, 10 psi into your heater core, so you do not want to turn your hose on very high. Okay, so like I said, you just switch the hoses. Obviously, these are just scrap hoses I had laying around. Okay, now I am going to go over. I'm going to go turn on the hose, which my neighbor has so nicely let me use his, because my hose does not reach. So just going to start with a little bit. Here it's coming out. I think we'll stay there for right now. Make sure that we're not making a mess, which we actually are, but that's fine. That's just water. Okay, and now here, all the crud is coming out. Obviously, this piece here is not the greatest, so hold on, I will tighten it. Okay, now that the hose is tightened, still a little drip, who gives a shit? Okay, as you can see, all the dirt and grime is coming out and is now running clear. I'm going to give it just a tiny bit more on the hose. Gotta kind of hurry before my bucket fills up here. And you do not want any of your antifreeze to go onto the ground. Antifreeze is sweet. Animals will like to eat it, and it will kill them. So make sure you properly dispose. And it looks pretty clear, and it looks like it's flowing pretty strong. Okay. Before my bucket fills, I'll shut it off. So make sure you get rid of all your antifreeze properly. If you put it in old recycling gallons, your auto parts store will more likely take them. If they don't, you can call around and ask where they do take it. Okay, now that everything is nice and clear, what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect my hoses. I'm going to put my hoses back how they were before, fill up my radiator, and hopefully I should have at least, I would say at least 10 to 15 degrees more heat into my cabin, and then I will be a happy man. I hope this video was informative. Have a good evening.